how am I feeling? Okay, well, yesterday I had that video or whatever, and I'm starting to realize, that I'm never going to be 100% connected to anybody. I'm just not going to be. I'm not going to be. And I keep thinking about loneliness or something, and how lonely that feels, that nobody will fully understand me. Like, it's just a fact. It's a fact of reality. Like, somebody can get really close to me, very, very close. My girlfriend's very close to me, and we can keep going and getting closer and closer to each other and unpacking more and more layers, but it will never be 100%. And she will never fully understand me. Nobody's ever going to fully understand me. So I feel like I'm starting to slowly accept that as that's the way it is. But that's the one part though. I know that nobody will ever reach 100% understanding with me, and I will never reach 100% understanding with that person. But I guess the satisfying factor would be if that person would be willing to keep going and keep diving and keep getting to know me, and I would want to keep getting to know that person. Like, I feel like that's a satisfying connection. You know, I know I'm not going to get this unbelievable level of vulnerability and then I'm going to be completely it's impossible. It's just not possible. I, yesterday, ran into this one guy that works at like a different company or whatever, you know, while I'm out here on the job. Like, I just see him, you know, he's doing a similar type of thing. I'm doing this type of thing, right? And I've seen him for the past like 3-something years, you know, and he always had this pain on his face for as long as I've known him or whatever. I never talked to him though. It was always, what's up, man? What's up, man? That's it. Yeah, how you doing, man? You know? And just recently, maybe like, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so, he started talking to me. You know, just opening up more. He was opening up like, oh yeah, I kind of want to get another job. And are you looking for another place, like potentially something? Like, he's like asking, he's talking to me. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So what the fuck what is he doing, right? Like, why is he talking to me all of a sudden? I'm like, what's going on with him, right? But I didn't really think much of it. It's just I had that conversation with him like a month or so ago, and then I kept going. And then yesterday, I ran into him. Just ran into him. And I don't know, it's like he was getting worse or something. Like, you know, he was very scruffy, like his beard, like he wasn't clean shaven, he wasn't any of that. And I was just talking to him again, kind of about like, hey, you know, how's the job going, blah, 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 how are you doing? He's asking me, just, you know, we're having that basic conversation. And then I was about to walk away, and then he just said like, I'm about to go into rehab. You know, I was just like, wait, what? Interesting. Hold on. And I just stopped and I went to just, you know, have a conversation with him. I'm like, okay, so what's going on, man? You know, and he's like, yeah, I've been an alcoholic, you know, for a majority of my life. And we talked, and he was just like, yeah, I never had any guidance. I was in the Army, and then like when I got out, I didn't know what the fuck to do. And he said he never liked himself. He just never liked himself, and he always has these expectations and standards of himself that he's not living up to, and he thinks that he's a loser or something, and he has all of these feelings about himself, and then he doesn't feel understood by anybody, you know, and he has no friends is what he was saying. Like, he's got a woman, but, you know, she's all business apparently, and, you know, like, got to get things done. So, and it's just, there's not a connection there to that level of satisfaction. So he just drinks to numb that pain. And, you know, I was talking to him, and I was just telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of going through like a similar situation, but like it's still different. Like, I don't ever want to like be in a position where I'm like, oh, hey, dude, I've been there, or hey, dude, I know exactly what no, I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Everybody's different, and I don't know. I don't like when people say that to me. So I'm like, if anybody like says that to me, I tell them to fuck off. And I don't want to say that to anybody either. I don't want to give advice that I don't want to hear, you know. So it's like that was the feeling. I was just talking to him, and, you know, and this is the fucked up part. I feel like he's a good dude, actually. Like, I really do. I'm just like, I'm like, stop. you have all these expectations on yourself. You have all the pressure from society and all the pressure that you have on yourself. It's not helping you. You know, you feel like you should be somewhere else and you're not, and you thought that being a truck driver of some sort is loser shit. You know, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. I thought I would be more. And he's just like, well, yeah, I thought there would just be more to this life. And yeah, that loneliness feeling is just killing me. You know, and I was just like, you know, and this sounds like fucked up. At the same time, I'm like, I got love for him. So I was like, I love you, man. You know, it's like, you're going to be all right. But I even the fact that I said you're going to be all right, I didn't like how I said that, but I don't know, it helped him. Like, I wish I kind of didn't say, oh shit, whoops. I wish I kind of didn't say that, but whatever. Like, I said that, and then he just broke down crying. Like, and I gave him a hug, and he hugged me like real tight, you know? And he like he hadn't been hugged before in fucking years. And he's just like, I've been in pain for a long, long time. You know, I was just like, good luck to you, man. Like, I wish you the best, like, whatever, like that. But I wasn't trying to be fake. I meant what I was saying, but like all that shit that I typically hear, I wish you the best and everything's gonna be all right. I didn't say everything's gonna be all right, but I did say you're gonna be all right, or it's gonna be all right, whatever, right? But I don't like being full of shit when I'm trying to help somebody, quote unquote. You know, like I could feel his pain. And this is like another thing, like, you know, being a man, like this pressure as well is you bury all your emotions, you know, like you don't open up. It's very hard to be vulnerable. Like, I've made a bunch of fucking videos already on the fear of rejection, the fear of vulnerability, like, but it all stems from loneliness. And that's what his problem was. He was just extremely lonely. And this is the other thing, like I told him as well, like I was like, I have this YouTube channel, and it's like I tricked myself with the YouTube channel in some way, because like I've said, I make a video, right, and then I listen to it, and then I have the feeling of, oh, I know what you're saying, man. Well, I'm like, yeah, it's me. And I said that to him. He laughed and everything. Like, you know, that's been this running joke ever since I made the YouTube channel. It's such a fun little thing that I say. But, you know, I even said that to him too. I was like, you know, maybe try that. But like, again, I'm not going to tell you what you should do or shouldn't do. I don't want to put anything on you, any pressure of any sort from my voice. But I don't know, that loneliness is... That's what I mean by yesterday. Like, I made this video like I'm in limbo, but that's why I also said that to him as well. I was like, I will never fully understand you, and you will never fully understand me. Like, it's the same shit that I was just saying a couple minutes ago. And I even said to him, I was like, do you want that, like, super vulnerability, that 100%, like that 100% understanding? And he said, yeah. And I was like, well, it's not real. You know, you can get real close, but you can't get to that 100%. Like, and that's what I mean by the loneliness factor. And even when I feel lonely, I'm like, if I'm connecting to somebody, and like for example, yesterday, like I talked to that guy, and I'll be honest, there's a feeling of, like, oh God, I don't want to get super close to him because I feel like he might latch on and attach to somebody because he doesn't have connection. He's never really had connection in his life. So I feel like he's just gonna super attach to me. Maybe, I don't know, that's just something I'm afraid of. I don't feel that from him. I feel like he just, like, he took a chance. Because I walked by and then he just wanted to say, it's like, I'm going into rehab. And he's just scared. Like, I just felt it. I'm like, he's scared. He's like 52 or something. He's like double my age. And he's like, yeah, I'm going into rehab. And I just felt it. I was like, oh shit, dude. Like what's going on, man? Like, and that's the other thing that's fucked up. I don't want to keep calling him man. You know, like, I kind of felt bad about that too. Like, as soon as I left, I was like, I want to know his name. Like, I've seen you for like 3 years or whatever. It's like, I want to know what the fuck your name is. Like, what the fuck's your name, dude? And he was also saying, like, I'm usually so positive. I'm usually so up and go lucky and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's just a facade. It's just a coping mechanism. You know, it's like, that's not how you actually are. That's not how you want to be, by whatever observation that I'm making, you know? It's like, you got a lot of deep-rooted pain, and that's the thing. And I was just asking him, I'm like, when you go to rehab, what are you trying to accomplish? You know? You're lonely. You're trying to get rid of the lonely feeling. And I just, like, it was so crazy when he hugged me, like, and it was crying. It was so crazy. Like, because I just, like, I don't know, it was unexpected, first of all. I didn't expect that to happen. And I didn't expect somebody like him, because he was so closed off and reserved. The whole time I've seen him and known him, he's been so reserved, so closed off. So the fact that he opened up to me like that, like, I could just feel that, and I'm like, oh my God, like, all right, I don't know, I kind of got, I said all that, and now I'm like, all right, I want to transition, because I'm uncomfortable, again. I'm like, yes, I wanted to say that, and I wanted to have a topic about loneliness, and I wanted to talk about how I'm feeling. And I'm trying to accept that. I'm just trying to accept that. I'm trying to accept that my girlfriend might leave me. Again, that we might just go our separate ways or something. That's still unbelievably painful. It's like, because I am so, like, she is, I can be myself the most with her. There's still a lot of layers, though. There's still a lot of, hold on. There's still a lot of layers that are in the way of that, though. Of me, like, you know, like, I'm very close to her and she's very close to me, but again, there's still so many layers to unpack, and all of a sudden I got really tired right now. Like, I'm like, I'm wondering why. Well, here's the thing. Every time I'm making a video, I've said this before, it's kind of a fight, and I'm always out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm still not, like, ridiculously comfortable making videos. I'm not there at this point of, oh my God, I'm super confident. No, I'm not, because I keep pushing my layers. I keep pushing into the next layer of the honesty within inside of myself. And like, that's what I mean. Like, this video making process, like, I'm not getting more comfortable. I guess, like, I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable. I talked about that or whatever, and now it's time to move on to the next section of my brain, which is opening up more uncomfortable shit. So I'm still diving. I'm still diving into myself, and I'm not at a point where I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I know who I am, or something. Like again, that's another thing that I want to really say, and I want to say it to myself. It's like, I will never fully understand myself either. So it's like, I keep looking for people to fully understand me, but I don't even fully understand myself. So how the fuck is that even possible? How? That's not even possible. It's just, there's so many ideal fucking things that I used to think about when it came to love or romance or just connection in general or real connection. And I keep thinking about that fucking School of Life video, that loneliness video. It's like, I remember I even watched another School of Life something. It's like the same guy that makes the channel. I watched another video, and he was just like, yeah, you're never going to fully understand somebody. Well, actually, I watched a different video, whatever. The whole message was, though, is it's okay, or whatever, right? It's okay to not fully understand somebody, like, because you just won't. It's all right to not fully understand somebody and still love them. Because I have this big issue as well with a lot of people. Like, again, I I still want to dive. I still want to get to know my girlfriend, for example, and even people around me on a deeper level, and I want to keep diving into the emotions and the vulnerability. Like because I do believe it's infinite. It is infinite, because here's the thing. You never reach 100%, but you can get close. And I don't want somebody to close up to me and be like, okay, so we reached 80% of relatability or something, and then we stop. I'm like, well, just keep going. I know we'll never reach 100%, but that's the fun of it, I guess. That's the fun, or that's a purpose of mine that I can continue to go through, because everything is pointless anyways. So I want to at least have something to do, which is diving into people's emotions and diving into myself, because I know that's an infinite journey. There's no way to stop doing that. There's no way to get to a point where I'm like, I get it now, and I figured it out. This is who I am. At least that's how my mind works. I can't do that. I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I'm like, I am good, and don't want to learn anything anymore about who I am or who people are or whatever, but especially myself. I'll never fully understand myself, because I am constantly changing. And I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but fuck it, like I have to. Like I want to repeat myself, because I really want to get it into my mind that this is what it is, because it's causing me a lot of suffering. It's causing me fuck tons of suffering, this feeling of I want 100% connection with myself and with somebody else. It's just ideal. It's just ideal. Just like that guy that I saw yesterday, and he was telling me his, rehab and the alcohol problems, like what he was telling me. He wants that same thing, which is this just 100% unbelievable vulnerability, because it's unsatisfying, understanding yourself. It doesn't really help with the loneliness. That's the whole feeling. Like even right now, again, I make these videos, right? And then I listen to myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't feel alone in some weird way. Like I said, I'm tricking myself, but it's still not satisfying enough, It's like, well, I don't want to, okay, like I still want somebody to connect with me, like yes, I have a connection with myself, but I'm still lonely. So it's a hard thing. And it's like, and then even being in a relationship, it's hard to not be afraid to lose your significant other. It's like, and this is the other thing, like what's really easy, and even what my girlfriend was saying, it's like she might just say fuck it and just be alone or something. But in her loneliness, or in her being alone and just going and doing her own thing, and getting her career started and doing this and doing that all by herself, she kind of said like that's the easy way to go, because all you're doing is guarding yourself. And I that's what I did, and I said that before too. It's like when I was I love myself or something, or I'm in that journey of self-love, like all I was doing was building guards. That's it. Like I still don't believe that is self-love. I don't believe that is a good thing to be doing. Like that's not self-love in my opinion. So I'm still trying to figure out how to not guard myself. This is hard. This is very difficult. Like I talked about it yesterday. I've talked about it before. And I would like to understand how to do that. I'm like, okay, so how can I love myself without being like, nobody get near me? I don't know. I kind of want to think about that right now. Like I want to like, what is that? I'm trying to feel that. I'm like, so, okay, I want to go there. I do want to go there. I don't want to keep going with this loneliness topic. Like I can, but like, okay, I want to transition again. Like, how can I love myself without throwing up 10 million walls around my heart? I was thinking about that yesterday too. It's like, oh, who hurt you? Or, oh, this person got hurt. I was even thinking about fucking Ariana Grande, that fucking song that she made like a while ago. Like, thank you, next, like whatever. Like, she's so guarded as well. That's what I mean. It's like, and then it's such another thing, like you gotta guard yourself. You put your heart out on a sleeve and then you get hurt. And I'm like, okay, what hurts? I wanna know. to find it. Like, I'm kind of losing my train of thought because I'm overwhelmed again. Because that's a hard problem to solve. Like, because I thought I solved it. I thought I solved the self-love problem a while ago, but realizing that all I was doing was guarding myself, and then my girlfriend was taking down a lot of those guards, and I was opening up and I was being vulnerable. And again, the only reason I wasn't was because I was afraid of getting hurt. And that's why I'm saying, I'm like, getting hurt how? What's going to hurt? Not feeling accepted? And that's what I mean. It's like, how do I accept myself and not be afraid of somebody else not accepting me? And this is the hard part. It's like, I don't know. Like, it's like removing hardwired biology. You know, I keep saying this whole word of social animal. Like, I keep saying that over and over again as well. First of all, I'm very insecure right now. I feel it. I am. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel all that fear creeping in again, right? And I'm trying to not listen to it. I'm trying to not digress into it. I would like to oh yeah. I would like to try to stay on topic, because that is like that's a big problem that I'm having. It's an extremely big problem, in my opinion, that I feel like I'm having. This problem of self-love and actually finding healthy, whatever that even means, right? Finding a healthy version of self-love. I don't know how to do it. And I don't know if anybody's really doing that other than just guarding themselves. I'm like, who's loving themselves without having guards up or something? And I'm like, is it bad to like let your guards down or something? Like this whole idea of guarded. My heart is guarded. You're never gonna hurt me again. Nobody's ever gonna hurt me again. I'm uncomfortable because I'm not finding that answer. But I feel like it's right there if I could just open up my mind and go into it. Because I kind of feel afraid or something. That I just really don't know the answer. And maybe that's just something I have to accept. But, you know, and time's running out. I'm about to be, you know, at my first stop. This traffic isn't as heavy on Friday, so I don't have as much time as I'd like. Yeah, a lot of people are afraid of opening up, and again, me too. Because I'm afraid of solitary confinement, and I'm afraid of being lonely. Like, there's this humongous problem of loneliness. I'm trying to understand that right there, because this has been a big problem as well. It's like, again, I'm making this YouTube channel, I'm making all these videos, and I'm saying all this stuff to try to connect and not feel like I'm alone. That's what I'm trying to do, you know? I'm trying to do that. Yeah, it's so tricky, because I'm like, yeah, like I want to accept myself, and then I just want to take it's just a risk. And that's the scary part. Here's the thing. When you open up and you're very vulnerable, you're always taking a risk that other person's going to say fuck you, or just walk away and just not accept you. And again, I said that to myself. I'm like, if somebody walks away from me, I don't want to be like, well, fuck you then. I don't like that either. That's not a way that I would like to approach trying to be vulnerable. Like, I don't want to have this, well, if you stab me when I open up, then I'm gonna stab you back, or not even stab you back, but just be extra guarded and then not open up again to the next person. It's like, if I'm opening up and I'm saying something and then somebody doesn't accept me, I want to be able to accept the not acceptance. Like, I want to be able to do that without trying to, well, time to throw the guards back up. Why do I have to do that? Yes, I want to be accepted. Like, everybody wants to be accepted by somebody in some way. Like I said, nobody wants to be in solitary confinement. Nobody wants to be 100% isolated. That's why it's weird that, like, I moved out, right? And I'm by myself. And my brother came over yesterday to see my apartment. You know? And then, you know, he left, and I still have this weird feeling of, like, I've never had that happen before in my entire life, where I have my own place and people are leaving and then I'm alone. That doesn't happen. Because when I would go over to my brother's apartment, I would leave and then go home, and then my parents would be there. Okay? I'm at my girlfriend's apartment. I would leave, and then I would go to my house where my parents are. But I've never been in a position where people are leaving me. And it's a whole different feeling that I've never experienced in my entire life. I'm like, wait a minute, so I'm going to bed here in this apartment and nobody's around? It's a strange feeling too. Like, I want my own space, and I have one in my own space, but not in the way of complete isolation. And it's just another balancing act. It's another hard thing that I'm trying to understand as well, where I'm at a happy median. I'm just like, oh, life is all about finding happy medians. And I'm just, yeah, I talked about that fucking shit yesterday too. Trying to find that perfect balance in this fucking life is impossible as well. And I want to stop trying to do that. Also, I want to accept where I am at this stage of my life, but I also want to keep learning and understanding myself more and more and more. Whatever stage I'm at, I want to learn about it. I want to learn where I am, because every single fucking day it's changing. Every day it's changing. Every single day. Every single day is a new stage. You know? I'm not going to say I'm a completely different person than I was yesterday, but definitely over time, I start to fucking change. I don't know. I don't have that solution yet to this loneliness problem, or this feeling of, all right, I want to accept myself without saying fuck you to the whole world and throwing all my guards up. Like, I don't know how to do that. But I feel like I'm maybe starting to understand possibly how to do that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure right now what that looks like. I wish I had more time to record, because I feel like I'm getting there. If I didn't have this pressure of, oh yeah, time to put on my professional face. All right, time to fucking work. Time to do the shit that I need to fucking do. You know, I'm in here, and now I'm surrounded by the people in this fucking dock. I haven't seen this fucker in a long time. All right. Very interesting. Yeah, that's something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Jesus, it's amazing the difference between like a 45-minute video and a 30-minute video. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It's over already? Jesus, what the fuck happened? You know? kind of feel a little unsatisfied. But that's the way it is right now, so oh well. There you go. Until goodbye.